Hello, and welcome to Frank's School. Well, the 10th and final episode of James Burke's The Day the Universe Changed is called Worlds Without End, 10th and final. And compared to the last one that you watched, the 9th one, the second half of the 9th one, in a way it's easy viewing, in a way, most of it. He's going to give a review, but at one point he talks about how what is so different now is that we have so much power available. He uses the word power. Well, you know, I think of it as the ability to degrade energy, to take energy to a greater entropy. But for that, you would have to see Wedge's paradigm. That's the way I discuss that, and I think it is a very, very big issue and problem. But anyway, he'll talk about power, and as an evidence of that, you see that rocket take off. He's at Cape Canaveral, or it was called that originally and changed to Cape Kennedy. He's in Florida. That's where he is, I'm quite sure. And then he'll go through a review, which is fun in a way if you've paid a lot of attention, as I've asked you to with this. As he talks about those various things, you feel educated with them. You feel like, oh yes, I remember you taught us about that. And he talks about how people firmly believe in their truth, but then he looks at a truth of the past, 17th century Scotland, and this is disturbing. This is disturbing. I have to wonder if he intended there to be a transition between the fire underneath that rocket taking off and the fire used to burn a witch to death in an act of mercy. His point is that we just can't fathom that now. But in 17th century Scotland, that was their truth. At one point he says the woman is grateful to them for doing this because they're saving her soul. This is disturbing, and I would recommend, certainly if I were in a public school showing this, I think I would simply skip to the 12th minute 32nd, about the point that it begins to get troubling. I wouldn't want to take my students through that. I'd say, hey, you want to watch it, go online, you can watch it. The acting is really too good. Well, then he goes into optical illusions, and he shows that, and his point, this is fairly easy, is that we see what we want to see, or what we're trained to see, or what we think we're going to see. Easy to understand and very well done, of course. And then he goes to Greece and England, Greece, of where he started the series, and to England. And then he proposes, he says, you know, that we're even controlled. We're so limited by what we think, our universe, if you will, that we are only allowed to ask certain questions, or we ask questions for which we expect to find answers. Well, you know, he explains it well. He gives the example of, I think the year was 1912, the Piltdown Man. It was a hoax, a very famous hoax. People thought they were so ready to find the missing link of something between a man and an ape. I should have put that in quotes, missing link. That they just fell for this right away. Then he'll go to France or talk about meteors and who are you going to believe and who are you not going to believe. Would you believe French peasants? And his point is, well, after the French Revolution, well then what peasants thought maybe was of value. Jumps to the meteor crater. I think it's in New Mexico, I think in the United States, and it's kind of hard to deny what happened with the meteor crater. And then at this point right here, there's where I would ask you to stop. When he says, the trouble is sometimes something comes along that doesn't fit. Something doesn't fit. And that would be a good place to stop, and I suspect then that tomorrow we'll be able to go through to the end of this series. You know, as I was writing this on the board, I thought about that. When I was, a personal story, just quick, when I was at Harvard, I was so miserable. I didn't fit. That's what made me realize it. And I remember one time I'd ordered a book at a bookstore called Wild Animals in Captivity. I got interested in zoos and zookeeping, and the woman that handed me the book, they had to order it. Speak about a wild animal in captivity. She looked at that and she said, "What's the wild animal?" And I thought, and I said, well, I guess it's me. I was the one that didn't fit. Well, in any case, that's a bit personal for what I'm doing here. I'll go on with the second video today. I'm also coming close to the end of the Decentralist Manifesto. I'll read some more of that, and then I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye for now.